On the news this morning, bank to begin immediate implementation on old notes were called to uphold Treasurer Abgar as their only identity. INEC says BVAS configuration used ahead of Saturday election. Cyclone Freddy pounds Mozambique, killing 27 people with 171,000 wounded. Before the news in detail, here's a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Uchechukwu Ebunam. The governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has advised all commercial banks in the state to commence immediately the implementation of the latest directive from the central bank on the dispensation of old Naira notes. Governor Soludo said the central bank governor, Dr. Godwin Emefiele, personally confirmed tonight that he directed all commercial banks to dispense old currency notes and to also receive same as deposits from customers. According to the CBN, tellers at the commercial banks are to generate the codes for deposits, as there is no limit to the number of times an individual or company can make deposits. Governor Soludo, in a statement personally signed by himself, advised residents of Anambra to freely accept and transact their businesses with the old currency notes, 200 Naira, 500 Naira, 1,000 Naira, as well as the new notes. Mr. Governor asked residents to report any bank that refuses to accept deposits of the old notes, as Anambra State government would not only report such a bank to the CBN, but also immediately shut down the defaulting branch. Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, has called on Ndibo to uphold the treasure the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGAR, as their only identity. Governor Soludo was speaking while inspecting a gully erosion control works embarked upon by his administration in Amanal Junction erosion site, Ebenator, Newi South Local Government Area. The project is being handled by Benejaf International Limited, while Maintech Engineering Consult is a consultant. Speaking shortly after inspecting progress of work done so far on the project, Governor Soludo expressed satisfaction with the level of work and explained that the coming election will be a determining factor about the political and socio-economic future of Ndibo. He further explained that the drainage will be channeled to a river, which will end up making the erosion challenge in the area a thing of the past. The Transition Committee Chairman for New South, Honorable Ikenna Naboso, emphasized that it is a new dawn in the town and extolled the governor for remaining committed to his manifesto. Commissioner for Environment, Engineer Felix Odemegu, Commissioner for Works, Engineer Fanyo Koma, Chief of Protocol to the Governor, Mr. Chinedu Nwoye, ABGA candidate, New South Constituency 1, Honorable Sonny Frederick Ozobialo, ABGA New South Party, and ward executives, traditional rulers, among others, attended the event. Anambra Governor's wife, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has appealed to women and youths in the state to rally round candidates of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGAR, in Saturday's State House of Assembly election. The governor's wife, who made the appeal in Awka, observed that APGAR is still the only traditional political structure that can respond to the interests of every Onyanambra and sustain the legacies of good governance in the state. While appealing to Anambra women to show solidarity to candidates vying under the APGAR platform in Saturday's House of Assembly election, Mrs. Soludo reminded them that voting wrongly out of emotion or sentiments could hamper the current development strides going on in the state. She maintained that Anambra cannot afford to be taken back to days of executive legislature war that ultimately affected the progress of the state, and asked voters in the state to understand that it is in their hands to either save the state or let her legacies down. The Anambra governor's wife, while reassuring that her husband, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, is determined to leave an indelible mark on good governance in the state, said that only APGAR legislators can understand the imperative of giving total support to the governor to build a livable and prosperous Anambra state. Mrs. Soludo further stated that she is counting on women living in the state to turn out and give massive support to APGAR, and assured that it is the sole identity of Anambra's political success story. The Archbishop of Onitsha and Metropolitan of Onitsha Ecclesiastical Province, Most Reverend Valerian Okeke, has cautioned Christians against inordinate quest for materialism and other things in the world. The Archbishop, who was preaching during a pastoral visit to St. Moses Parish, no, that it is the only God that satisfies our material hunger and quenches our spiritual thirst with his grace of salvation. Moshe favor with despite our unworthiness. Based in his preaching on Jesus Christ's encounter with Samaritan women at the well, Moshe Ben-Okeke said by demanding for water to drink from a Samaritan, Christ intends to erase the age-long discrimination between the Jews and the Gentiles, adding that everybody appears equal before the Lord. He thanked the good people of St. Alphonsus Parish, Bono, for their warm reception on his pastoral visit to the parish, where he also administered the sacrament of confirmation on numerous candidates. The Archbishop prayed God to answer favorably to the deepest quests and the profound yearnings of the hearts of the faithful. Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Ocha Brigade says they have arrested a criminal syndicate impersonating officials of Anambra State government and engaging in illegal revenue collection. The brigade spokesperson, Mr. Anthony Abwefuna, who disclosed this at the agency's headquarters in Oka, said the 13 suspects were arrested in Onitsha, the state's commercial hub. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, said it will complete the configuration of the bimodal voter registration systems by Tuesday, March 14th. INEC National Commissioner Festus Okoye said this during Channels Television's Okoye said no political party will be allowed to look into the brain of the beavers used to vote for voter accreditation and electronic transmission of votes. INEC officials use beavers to check the details of voters at polling stations during Nigeria's presidential and general elections on February 25, 2023. Okoye disclosed that results from more than 170,000 polling units from the presidential and national assembly elections have been uploaded on the results viewing portal IRF. The commission also said the configuration of the beavers will be completed on Tuesday in preparation for the March 18th governorship and state assembly elections. And far away from Mozambique, Cyclone Freddy battered central Mozambique after making landfall for a second time in a month, breaking records for the duration and strength of tropical storms in the southern hemisphere. Communications and electricity supply in the storm area have been cut off, so the extent of the damage and number of casualties were not clear. More than 171,000 people were affected after the cyclone swept through southern Mozambique last month, killing 27 people in Mozambique and Madagascar. More than half a million are at risk of being affected in Mozambique this time, according to the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, OCHA. UNICEF said in the statement that Freddy made landfall with sustained winds of nearly 150 kilometers per hour, 93 miles per hour, causing severe damage and cutting off children and families from critical services. However, the national power company Electricidade de Mozambique said that by mid-afternoon, electricity had been restored in most areas with the exception of Milange, Lugala, Maganje de Costa, Namanjavira and parts of the city of Mokuba. In Malawi, authorities were bracing for the cyclone to pass near the southern tip of the landlocked country by evening, bringing torrential rains and flooding, the Department of Meteorological Resources and Climate Change said in a statement. And from the world of sports, the Nigerian Cricket Federation (NCF) has upgraded facilities at the country's #1 ground, Tafawa Balewa Cricket Oval, Lagos, ahead of the third NCF Women's T20 Invitational Tournament scheduled to hold from March 25th to April 3rd. Speaking on the tournament, the NCF President Uyi Abata said the event, beyond strengthening the ties between Nigeria and other top cricketing nations across the continent, will also help the country to build and expose the women's team. The 10-stripe turf wicket will host all the games of the Women's T20 Invitational that will feature Cameroon, Ghana, and Nigeria, Rwanda, and Sierra Leone. Abata said the Oval will be a different ground from what was played last year because of the quality of attention given the facility scheduled to host about 2,000 players, fans, and visitors per day during the event. Teams will start arriving for the 2023 NCF Women's T20 Invitational Tournament on March 24th, while all the teams will be allowed to practice on the pitch on March 25th ahead of the opening games on March 26th. Remember that you can follow news and program on ABS TV from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page on ABS Radio Television, OKA. Go on to subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABS Television Oka. You can also follow us on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our site at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points that made the news again this morning. Anambra State Governor Soludo has urged commercial banks to begin immediate implementation of CBN directive on old Naira notes. Ndiwo have been called to uphold Treasurer Abgar as their only identity. From the federal streams, we told you that INEC has said Beaver's reconfiguration will be completed on Tuesday 14th ahead of Saturday election. Finally, from the foreign scenes, Cyclone Freddy has pounded Mozambique, killed 27 people with 171,000 wounded. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. That's all in the news this morning. My name is Uchechukwu Ebona. Be good.